Hello. So we are starting with a new topic, how to measure angular velocity, and today we are going to study about tachogenerator. So before starting tachogenerator, I would like to describe you what is the difference between tachometer and tachogenerator. Simple difference. I just would like to inform you just before we proceed. So when we say something as to be a tachometer, first of all, remember tacho is related to revolution. Okay, or you can even say counters. Okay, and when you say revolution, for us revolutions means rpm or speed. Okay, and meter is a basic word that is used to measure something. Okay, in mechanical terms you can say. So whenever we consider anything to be a mechanical means to measure the speed of the shaft, then it is called as tachometer. And when we call something to be known as a tachogenerator, then it would mean as revolution. Okay, and this is measured in some kind of a generator. Okay, rather than a meter. And when we say generator, it is more related to electrical system. Okay, and we know electrical system are based on two types. It can be either an AC system, alternating current system, or it can be a direct current system. Okay, basic thing, alternating current or direct current. So tachometer is a mechanical system where we have already studied what do you mean by fly ball tachometer, how does a hand speed indicator work. Okay, and when we consider anything to be known as tachogenerator, we should be very sure it is related to electrical system which will actually measure the speed of the shaft. Okay, so if I want to write tacho generator, it means speed of the shaft is measured by electrical means. Okay, speed of the shaft is measured by electrical means, then it is called as tacho generator. And this can be of two type, AC type tacho generator and DC type tacho generator. Okay, so we should remember this very clearly before proceeding forward. Okay, so what I would like you to know right now is we will try to study AC tacho generator. Now, what do you mean by AC tacho generator? I have already told you, but we will start with DC tacho generator first. Okay, what do you mean by DC tacho generator? You should remember in DC tacho generator, okay, what is the main thing? The current source is direct, it is not alternating. Direct current, always remember, that's why it is called as DC tacho generator. Okay, so you should remember how does a direct current look like. If I want to plot something like direct current, we know that direct current is more like a constant. Okay, why is it constant? Because there is no kind of alternating source. So whenever we consider something to be direct, we should remember that it will be constant throughout. Okay, now this is the first thing. Now before proceeding forward, what we would like to know is about the construction of DC tacho generator. Okay, and basically we should know that this tacho generator is used to measure speed, or you can say RPM. So you can use RPM of the shaft. Basic thing, that what I'm saying. Since we are into mechanical terms, we will like to look into the perspective of mechanical things only. So we are going to measure the RPM of the shaft. Now, how does a DC tacho generator looks like? So I will like to explain you the construction. Okay, this is the shaft. Okay, suppose this here will be the shaft whose speed is to be measured. Just give me a second. I'll just take an interesting color. Yeah, shaft whose speed is to be measured. Okay, this part. Now it will be connected to the shaft, okay, of the motor. This is the shaft. Suppose this is the shaft whose speed is to be measured. Now this will be connected to the DC motor. Okay, you can see this is the DC motor. Okay, this whole arrangement is the DC motor. Okay, now this DC motors, this part, this circular part is called as armature. What do we call it as? Armature. Always remember. Okay, this is my armature. Okay, now this armature will actually rotate. Okay, this armature will rotate. Now you can see it is rotating in presence of some magnets. Okay, so you can see there are some magnets. So what are the parts? One is the shaft, whose speed is to be measured. I'll just write it for you. Construction shaft, whose speed is to be measured. Second, what did I say? DC motor you can say, or you can even say armature of the motor. And armature is connected to armature, which is connected to shaft. Okay, I'm just trying to simplify the things for you. Now, what we can see after this is armature is connected to the shaft. Now you can see this DC motor or armature is in presence of some magnet. Okay, so there is a permanent magnet field. One very important thing. Now permanent magnet field is there, but what is important is this permanent magnet, whatever you are seeing here is, okay, this permanent magnet is actually supplied, okay, with some kind of a alternating current. What do you supply to this? You are supplying you are supplying some direct current to it. Okay, you can say that there is a battery source which is connected to this permanent magnet. So there is a battery source which is direct current. Okay, so you are applying direct current. There is a direct current source to the permanent magnet. Okay, now, okay, whenever there is direct current source to the permanent magnet, you know that in presence of a current source, okay, we already know that whenever there is a presence of some kind of a current source, what will be there? There will be some flux generated. Okay, okay, there will be some flux generated. I am not saying the flux is generated on the armature. I am saying that there will be some flux in between the north pole and the south pole of the magnet. This is very sure for us. Okay, so there will be some flux between the north pole and the south pole of the magnetic field. Okay, matlab there will be some kind of a magnetic field between the north pole and the south pole of the magnet due to the presence of direct current source. Okay, so this will lead to flux generation. Okay, so there is some flux generation. Suppose this flux generation is denoted by 5. Okay, so there is some flux. Okay, flux of the field that is generated due to the presence of the magnet in presence of current source. Okay, now what I'm going to tell you is, just look at this thing. What will happen? Actually, this field, if you can see this field, okay, this field will be constant. Why this field will be constant? Because these magnets are permanent kind of nature. Okay, when these magnets are permanent, or you can say when the current is constant, automatically the flux will be constant. The flux will be constant. Okay, now what I'm saying is, what is important is the flux will be constant because the current, DC current is constant. Okay, if the DC current is constant, the flux generated by the north and the south pole of the magnet will have constant value. Okay, now what is important? There is an armature which is connected to the shaft, if you can see. Okay, so when the armature is connected to the shaft, what will happen? Okay, the armature is connected to shaft. I'm just explaining you the working also now. Armature, I'll explain working and construction together. So when armature is connected to shaft, what will happen when shaft rotates? Armature will also rotate, correct? So armature of DC motor, or you can say DC motor directly, rotates. Now when this DC motor will rotate, what will happen? When DC motor will rotate, now you can say there will be some flux or you can say there will be some EMF, okay, induced in the DC motor. Why there is EMF induced in the DC motor? Because DC motor is also nothing but an armature only, or a winding. Okay, so there will be some EMF induced in the DC motor. Okay, now this EMF, whatever is the EMF induced, I'm just going to explain you simple, will be proportional to two things. First is the flux generation due to the permanent magnet. Okay, and it will also be proportional to the speed of armature, or you can say shaft, that is whose speed that we are going to measure. Okay, speed of DC motor will be equal to speed of the shaft. So EMF that is going to be induced will be proportional to two values. It will be proportional to armature speed or shaft speed, and it will also be proportional to flux. So I'll just put it, let this value be equal to N. This is equal to phi. So what I'm saying, EMF induced E will be proportional to phi, and E will be proportional to M. Now we know that phi is constant because the magnet is permanent in nature and the current is direct, which is constant. So phi, the flux generation will be constant. So E will be directly proportional to the EMF induced will be proportional to speed. Now this is the principle. Okay, EMF will be proportional to speed, and this is the principle where whatever the EMF that is generating, okay, in the DC motor, if we can measure this EMF, if this EMF is measurable, automatically we can measure the speed of the shaft. Correct? Okay. So now the second part of the construction will be how do you measure it? Okay, how do you measure the EMF? Now one thing that is very important and which is important to be understood is, now you can see that there is some field, correct? There is some EMF induced into this system. Now the torque will be there. Okay, now there can be two types of torque. If I want to explain the torques thing for you, before explaining that, for what you have to see is this armature. Okay, this armature is connected to two system. I'm just putting it here. If you want to see, you can see the diagram. Okay, now you can see this part is called as commutator. It is more like a cup thing. Okay, and this part is called as brush. Earlier this brush used to be made up of copper. Even now this brush are made up of copper. Okay, now what is the function of this commutator and brush? I'll just explain you here what is the function of this commutator and brush. Okay, now you can see this commutator is a cup like thing which is of two sections. You can see section 1 of the commutator, you can see section 2 of the commutator, you can even see brushes, two brushes on both the ends. Okay, now what is the function of this commutator and brush? I'll just explain you. See, suppose this is my shaft. Suppose this is my shaft. Okay, now suppose the shaft is rotating. So this is called as torque. Okay, load torque. Now what is important is, if the shaft is rotating in this direction and my torque generated, okay, due to EMF, okay, there will be some load torque, okay, and there will be some electric torque, okay, which will be more like a generated torque, EMF torque. If both are in the same direction, commutator and brush assembly, okay, okay, now if this torque that is generated here, okay, and if the torque that is induced, okay, the electromagnetic torque, you can say, okay, this is more like an electromagnetic torque, and this is the load torque. This is actually torque. Okay, this is the load torque, and what I'm saying, there is one more torque that will be electromagnetic torque. Now what I'm saying is, you are not going to measure electromagnetic torque. What you're going to measure for your system is, sorry, you are not going to measure load torque. What we are actually going to measure is electromagnetic torque. Okay, so when both are having the same direction, commutator and brush assembly will facilitate, okay, this for EMF measurement. Okay, because EMF induced into the system will be more like the torque, because torque is related to, you can say torque is related to the speed, correct? Whatever is the torque of the system, that will be actually related to speed. So if both are having the same direction, commutator and brush will facilitate this for EMF, okay? EMF measurement. It will directly give the signal. If both are in the same direction, what will happen is this commutator and brush will let this pass, and this will be recorded in a voltmeter, okay? This EMF will be recorded in this voltmeter, and there is some variable resistance that you can use. This is actually used to make the system more like to have the resistance into the system. If you need some kind of a resistance, so this is required, okay? This is more like a rheostat. If you know the function of rheostat, rheostat functions like something of a variable resistance if you want into the system, so that the system is actually having some kind of a resistance, okay? So what I'm saying is, if if this the torque generated, okay, EMF and the loading torque are in the same direction, automatically this will facilitate, commutator and brush will facilitate this value. This will help whatever value EMF that is generated here, with the help of this electromagnetic torque, whatever is the EMF, this will be directly given to the PMCC voltmeter for the measurement, okay? But what I'm saying is, if 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 the load torque and and the electromagnetic torque reverse their direction, okay, due to polarity issue of the magnet, okay? Okay, then what is the function of commutator and brush? Commutator and brush will also help reverse the polarity, okay? This is the basic function. Don't get into electrical terms or more technical terms. What I want you to know is commutator and brush will help reverse the polarity, okay, of the EMF, or you can even say of the electromagnetic torque, of EMF or electromagnetic torque, okay, which will be actually given to what? This will help reverse the polarity of EMF or electromagnetic torque to be given to the voltmeter, okay? Now, okay, I have already told you there is a rheostat which is used to vary the resistance, okay? Okay, if the you can say, if the resistance is low, you can increase the resistance of the system. If the resistance is high, you can decrease the resistance of the system, okay? So that is the basic function of rheostat. Now, one more thing, this voltmeter will measure this value, okay, and this will actually help us know the EMF induced, or you can even say electromagnetic torque induced into the system without the effect of polarity. Electromagnetic torque, okay, without the effect of polarity. One more thing that is very important, I'll repeat it, that the phi flux is constant, remember, okay? One more thing, just before I complete this topic, I like you to know that this voltmeter, okay, is called as PMCC voltmeter. Always remember, okay? This is permanent magnet voltmeter. Actually, this is permanent magnet moving coil, because the coil is moving, armature is moving. So PMCC, permanent magnet moving coil voltmeter, okay? Now remember all these things. Done? Okay. Now what is the function of this PMCC voltmeter? PMCC voltmeter will actually measure the EMF, and it gives the calibrated value in terms of speed, okay? This will be calibrated. This EMF, what is the function? Like, rather than giving the volt value, this will calibrate the value in terms of speed of the shaft, okay? Then now I will just list the advantage and disadvantage so that we are done with this topic. Okay. What are the advantages if I would like to list it down for you? If you remember, what were the advantages? If you can just think about it, that would also be better. But I'll list it for you. What are the advantages? So first advantages is polarity can be reversed with the help of with the help of commutator and brush. You write it full assembly. Second is output voltage is 10 millivolt per RPM. Like if there is 1000 RPM, you can directly calibrate the thing. Okay. If the speed is only 1 revolution per minute, the PMCC will show what? It will show 10 millivolt value. If it is showing 10 millivolt value, you can be very sure, just like the calibration thing, you can be very sure that the RPM is only 1. Okay. Revolution per minute is 1. Okay. Now disadvantage. So this is one of the basic advantage, that you can calibrate it very simply as 1 RPM is equal to 10 millivolt PMCC. You can say 10 millivoltage. Okay. So now I would like to add some disadvantage. Now commutator and brush assembly is there. Okay. Whenever there is assembly, you have to maintain that assembly. So commutator and brush assembly produces maintenance problem. You have to replace commutator and brush. Okay. Once it gets damaged, because this commutator and brush is going to carry the EMF. Okay. The function of commutator and brush is two. There are two functions of commutator and brush. They will carry EMF. Okay. And they will reverse polarity. There are two functions. Okay. So it will actually have maintenance problem. Okay. So you need to replace it. Okay. Periodic maintenance is required or replacement is required. That, or you can say replacement is required, essential. Now anything else? Yeah, this will be more than enough. One of the advantage. Okay. Done. So I think we have completed tacho generator. In tacho generator, what we have completed is DC tacho generator. Okay. Thank you.